House of the Dragon just opened Season 3 by killing a future king, locking the queen out of her own war, and quietly confirming that actual ancient magic is real in this world. That's not a premiere. That's a season finale wearing a premiere's clothes. And buried in the opening credits is a heraldry swap so subtle that if you blinked, you missed the show, basically spoiling its own ending. Let's get into everything you missed. First, quick context. This episode wasn't originally written as a premiere. It was meant to be the second to last episode of Season 2, before the writers' strike and budget cuts forced Ryan Condal to chop the season down. So the Battle of the Gullet, originally last season's climax, got pushed into this premiere instead. That's why this episode never slows down. It just detonates from minute one. Let's start with the opening credits, because the score itself changes for the first time. War drums now lead into Ramin Djawadi's string theme, and the tapestry itself ripples like real fabric, morphing into ship sails to foreshadow the naval battle ahead. But the frame that matters most is the ending. It used to close on the Iron Throne. Now it closes on a black dragon on a red field. The real Targaryen sigil is a red dragon on black. This is the inverted version, and that inverted color scheme belongs to House Blackfire, a Targaryen rebel branch that doesn't even exist yet in this timeline. That's not a coincidence. That's foreshadowing. In King's Landing, Aemond is now fully in control, and it's ugly. He drags the Grand Maester out of bed in the night over suspicion of treason. Alicent had secretly negotiated a surrender with Rhaenyra, but Aemond steamrolls past her by calling in 15,000 Hightower troops. So she tries to flatter him into leaving the city, telling him Harrenhal withstood dragon fire once before. That line is historically wrong, and it matters. Harrenhal is famous for the opposite. Aegon the Conqueror melted its towers and cooked King Harren alive inside his own walls. This show takes place only a century after that happened, so it should still be living memory, not forgotten history. Meanwhile, Aegon is smuggled out of the capital, badly burned and in agony, when Black Loyalist soldiers stop his cart. Larys saves them both by surrendering Aegon's hidden crown, turning a near execution into a hostage situation instead. On Dragonstone, Jace is openly clashing with his mother's strategy, convinced her plan is a trap. That tension explodes once the Battle of the Gullet begins. The Triarchy fleet tries to break the Valyrian blockade, burning the Valyrian home of High Tide as a distraction. Rhaenyra tries to fly out and defend the fleet herself, but Jace stops her. He has the Queen's Guard lock her in her own chambers, locking out the Queen to protect her, which is its own kind of coup. He and Baela fly out without her. At sea, Corlys lures the enemy fleet into a narrow, rocky pass, and it works until the enemy admiral throws her own knight overboard just to lighten her ship enough to clear it. Distracted by the sight of his own home burning, Corlys is swept overboard in the chaos and vanishes beneath the waves. In the air, Jace and Baela start burning ships, but the Triarchy has harpoon launchers built to bring down dragons. One hits Jace's dragon, Vermax. Then the dragon Sheepstealer crashes into the fight, wild and unsaddled, with Rhaena clinging on as a passenger, attacking everyone indiscriminately. To avoid her, Jace is forced to fly low, right into range of a second harpoon. Vermax goes down into the water and drowns. Jace surfaces, clings to floating wreckage, and is shot dead by enemy archers before help can reach him. The heir to the Iron Throne, dead in the water, killed by arrows while clinging to debris. Brutal specifically because there's nothing glamorous about it. While that battle rages, the Dragon Seeds Hugh Hammer, Ulf the White, and Adam of Hull are stationed on a sacred island called the Isle of Faces, waiting to ambush Aemond. Instead, their dragons suddenly panic, and in the trees, they catch a glimpse of a tall, antlered, goat-legged figure before it vanishes. That's a Green Man, a legendary order from the books that was always rumor, never confirmed to actually exist. This episode just made them real on screen, which means the witch Alice Rivers isn't just doing creepy magic in a tower anymore. She's actively manipulating ancient forces to turn these dragon riders against their queen. For the book readers, here's the change that matters most. In the original story, the dragon Sheepstealer is tamed and skillfully ridden by a small folk girl who proves that even wild dragons can be controlled by the right person. The show cuts that character entirely and gives the dragon to Rhaena instead, except Rhaena can't control it at all. That's not a small tweak. That's the show flipping the entire point. The message isn't dragons can be tamed anymore. It's dragons are just weapons of mass destruction. And that shift is exactly what gets Jace killed. So in one episode, we got a coup against the queen, the heir to the throne dead in the water, ancient magic confirmed real, and the show putting a rebel house's colors into its own opening credits as a warning. That is a lot of table setting disguised as a finale. Let me know in the comments what you caught that we missed.